Now, I have read, and gosh, there's been a lot going on. A whole bunch of Alcohol Health Watch, I think they're called. They're all fundamentally government-funded academics who tell you not to have fun and various things. Smoking, vaping is the latest thing that's going to eat your soul. But now the health researchers are saying there is no level of alcohol consumption that can be safe for heart health. It's just not possible, which I guess I would read as a layperson as saying, whenever you have alcohol, you are damaging your heart. And obviously these things are quite close to my heart at present as I'm going in for a little, and it's not surgery, folks, it's just a little procedure tomorrow. So I wondered, is this true or not? Or is it just another piece of wowser propaganda? To discuss these claims, we are joined now by Virginia Nicholls. She's the CEO of the Alcoholic Beverages Council, which represents, well, booze manufacturers and sellers in New Zealand, to put it bluntly. Virginia, how are you?
I'm very good. Good morning, Sean.
All right. Now, what is it, and I'm presuming it's Alcohol Health Watch, what is their latest pronouncement on safe levels of alcohol consumption as regards heart health?
Well, that latest press release, I guess, came from the Heart Foundation and Alcohol Health Watch.
Yeah.
But really what they're saying is that there's no safe level of drinking. And, I mean, we would say that's really untrue and incredibly misleading. And I'll tell you why, because I think it's such a well-established fact that all things being equal, those who drink lightly to moderately live longer than those who don't drink at all. And so it's pretty disappointing when you see stuff like this coming out.
Okay.
I mean,
now, that's been around for a long time, 2 glasses of red wine or whatever, and part of me feels like it's a little bit of an industry spin. Do any studies show that it is the alcohol, or does it show, for example, Mabel, that people who drink lightly to moderately simply live a better lifestyle anyway, and it's just one of the many factors that makes them live longer?
Well, first of all, the guidelines are Ministry of Health guidelines, so they're independent, obviously. Yeah. And, 2 standard drinks a day for women, yesterday 3 for men, and have 2 alcohol-free days off a week. Yeah. I mean, these guidelines reflect it's pretty extensive research that's behind all those recommendations, as I say, from the Ministry of Health. And what it tells us is that moderate alcohol consumption, such as those in our guidelines, doesn't negatively impact lifespan. And moderate alcohol consumption actually appears to have health benefits in relation to preventing cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. Yes, and that's a well-known fact, and so that's why this is quite disappointing.
All right, is there anything you guys can do to get them to correct, which you are telling me straight out is just a falsehood?
Oh, I think it's misleading. I think, to be fair, there are some people, and you need to take your doctor's advice in anything, regarding, when you've got particular issues in any sort of fact or form. But it's interesting, and I mean, I guess we've just got to get out there and just be another voice out there so people can make up their own minds, really. But for example, in that research there are some scientific evidence that they haven't cited, like the Heart Foundation position statement, like they haven't put in there the World Health Organization's global status report on alcohol and health, which does recognise the beneficial effects of low-level consumption and cardiovascular disease outcomes. So again, they're being a little bit selective in the information that they're putting forward. And I think it's important that everybody gets the opportunity to hear everything. But there's another thing as well, which is the World Heart Federation. So these are some international ones. They issued a similar position to this last year, but it's important to note that heart foundations in the UK and the USA continue to reflect low-risk drinking guidelines, just as we do here in New Zealand. All right. And they don't take the no-safe level approach.
And have they responded to your response to them or not?
I certainly know. I was out yesterday busy doing some media, and I have to admit I haven't seen the reactions. It's just about trying to get our voice out there, both for, I think, common sense, but also for those of us who drink in a responsible way. Would you be happy to debate them if I tried to tee up next week? Would you be happy to debate them live? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
all right, let's try and do that. We'll not throw down the gauntlet. Well, let's have a conversational discussion. Let's get both sides in. Let's have it out, because you're clearly saying they're telling the New Zealand public falsehoods with their own money. I don't like the thought of that. But then again, you are paid to say that, Virginia. So maybe the best thing we can do is have a discussion.
I'd be more than happy to have a discussion, but really it's just so important that people do go and get advice and things from their medical practitioner, because sometimes, different things, and this goes all across everything that we do, really, doesn't it, Sean, with, it'll go on what we're eating and all of those sorts of things as well.
I hear you. Hey,
but
Virginia.
They are ignoring, I believe, some evidence.
Yeah. Virginia, thank you for joining us this morning.
It's a great pleasure.
And we may have you back on for this debate, because I think it's important that we sort it out.
Sounds good.
Cheers.
And all the best for you tomorrow, too.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. That is Virginia Nicholls, the CEO of the Alcoholic Beverage Council. So Health Watch and the Ministry of Health say there is no level of safe drinking. And international studies and things say, well, here it is. Light to moderate drinking can actually be good for your heart. So who's telling the truth? Well, let's get them both on. We'll try and do that next week. Let's get them both on for a debate. And I'm happy to moderate. I've got to say, I've been drinking bugger all. I would in the last month have had maybe 6 beers. And I don't know, maybe different. I just feel bored, that's all. Sean, there is literally nothing wrong with alcohol. I'm sick of this anti-alcohol lobby and their no fun allowed propaganda. Sean, I'm not religious in any way, shape or form, but booze can't be all that bad, because didn't someone turn water into wine? Oh, maybe.